Hello and welcome to another episode of The Card Show. Hope everyone is well. I know it seems like you probably it wasn't too long since you last heard my voice, saw my face, as I was a bit late with last week's episode due to being on holiday. I did eventually get around to doing a little something. I think it was on Thursday, if I remember correctly. Wednesday, Thursday, one of the 2 days. I was late. It was bad on my part. But I'm back on track now. So you're hearing me again on which is Monday for you, obviously Sunday night for me, the 1st of March. You know, the first month, the third month we're in now. How is everyone doing with their New Year's resolution, their new goals? You know, with the third month already of this year, time is flying by. Personally, I've just pretty much completed the first subscription from Huel. I don't know why I'm pausing. I've enjoyed it so far. Again, I've been consistent with the Black Edition powders, not as much with the greens, which was more of like a weekend thing. But yeah, I'm impressed. I have one new flavour coming. I kept the salted caramel, got rid of the salted caramel coffee, and yeah, I've got drunk on plain chocolate to see what happens there. See what it's like. Can't be too bad, right? We'll find out, I suppose. And I used to do like one each day, so one caramel coffee, one caramel coffee sort of thing. Throughout the week, Monday to Fridays. So yes, I've enjoyed it so far. I think I don't know. I'm not gonna like overshoot it and say I've felt a massive difference. I think it's been very consistent Monday to Fridays for sure. Tempted to add them into the weekends as well, so just 7 days a week. We shall see. I don't know, but so far I've enjoyed it. It's definitely helped out. Busier days, just put the water in the cup, 2 scoops, literally 10-second shake, done. And you're pretty much down it pretty quickly as well. So yeah, been impressed so far. Again, renewed for another 2 months. I'll probably keep up for the year at least, I think. See how you get on, and potentially longer. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it so far. Maybe my skin's glowing because of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a holiday. I don't know. But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. I would recommend people who maybe do worry about the nutrition or maybe never thought about it as much and think maybe thought now have the thought like, hey, maybe I'm not getting good nutrition. Maybe something to look into. As in quick, easy, a full nutritious meal. I think they do say on there like some people use it for 2 meals a day, like a breakfast and a lunch scenario. Which again, for me, it's been more of it's like a lunch brunchy thing, sort of in between the breakfast and lunch slash. Sometimes more of my breakfast, but later. Sometimes it's more of my lunch, but earlier. One of them sort of things. And I might still have some feel about after, but at least I know that I'm getting a good. I think it's like 400 calories, and part of the nutrition I need. So yeah, I'd recommend that. Content wise, not where I want to be at all. So again, I have to hold myself accountable. Have took a lot of time off social media in general, which kind of helps so much better because it really don't realize how much time you have in your hands, right? I'll be in it. I saw this trick where it was like every 15 minutes or 20 minutes, go back on your phone and like write what you did in that 15, 20 minutes. And which is interesting compared to, what it used to be where it might be doom scroll or just doom scroll 20 minutes, then you go back on 20 minutes, doom scroll again. All of a sudden you're thinking, wow, a lot of time I just doom scrolled or switched from one social media to another social media or got caught in a YouTube wormhole sort of thing. So now being able to look back at it and go, oh, I did that for 20 minutes. I did that. And sometimes I wasn't like religious where I sat alone for 20 minutes, but sometimes I would forget and go back and go, what was I doing for the last couple hours? Oh yeah, when I did this, I did that. I'm like, okay. It's interesting to see how much time I was, not on the phone, not on them socials. So, yeah, not where I want to be on that side of things. But again, took some time off, reevaluated, better perspective, and I'm able to put other things into play and refine everything. So I'm happy on that part. Slow progress is better than no progress. Remember that. But let's get into the podcast, because I'm sure you're not here for my usual updates and how I'm doing my content. So, just want to talk a bit about the recent Tops Rips nights that have been happening up and down the country. People may have seen socials, medias, etc., of these shops that were doing them. Obviously, someone who hasn't been on social media as much, this kind of catch up now. I believe it was last weekend, 21st, I'm going to say. Again, I'm late to the party. That's why I wasn't mentioned on the podcast on Thursday. So yeah, I've gutted. Obviously, I was asked to go to one of them. Obviously, I was flying out, so I couldn't, or I was already away at the time, so I couldn't attend personally. But I kind of like the ideas of like Tops getting behind these shops. Definitely want to, like, next time there's one coming up, want to try and help promote, get some content out, and actually get to one of them, and and do some content there. It'd be kind of cool, and actually help the exposure wise as well. Don't believe there's any shows on that weekend. Well, any shows I'm aware of on the 21st. I know there was a couple on the 28th, so it was just had on the weekend. I think there was the Dublin card show, Kent card show. There was the Northwest card show. So you had shows all over the show. Well and truly, Kent, Northwest, and Dublin. Again, still not been to Dublin. I keep telling the guys, if I am at your show, it's a bad luck because it's my anniversary. So yeah, so obviously I'm still happily married, so I wasn't at the show. I'm sure a lot of content coming out for people who were there. I believe Sports Card UK was there. JJJ, that card was there. So I'm hoping they've put out some content coming forward. They may have already seen it, put content out. Again, this is Sunday, so they may have already got around to doing it. I've just not been that active on social. So yeah, maybe I'm late to the party, but I'm sure they will. I'm sure they have. Especially down with TikTok, he's quite like on it with that sort of stuff. So if you did go to a show, hope you had a good time. Let me know which show you went to and how, if it was any good, if it was too much of this, too much of the other. Talking of card shows, if you didn't get the email, get on the email list. London Card Show announced the PSA trade night at the April show, 4 p.m. till 9 p.m. on the 18th of April at the ExCeL Arena. It's going to be crazy. As of recording this, the last update I saw on their socials, again, going back a bit, was that TCG had sold out all their tables for the weekend, but there was like 20% left on the Friday for TCG. Sports weekend tables were like 90+% sold out. And I think it was similar for the Friday, like 75% are sold out, so 25% left. Which is a crazy thing, because people always talk about the sort of splits of TCG, Pokemon, sports at shows, especially when it comes to London. I think London gets a lot more criticism because of, it's like the staple show, right? It's like the show everyone goes to, so everyone goes to it and don't get as much sport as they would, quote unquote, like. It seems to be more like there's this, like the other. Which, I believe that London Card have always done the best in trying to make it as, fair as possible and split as possible. But you look at this, gone to ExCeL, massive arena in London. TCG sold out for the weekend, and sports 90+% sold out. Crazy. This is going to be probably the closest the UK might get to a national. I'm going wrong. I mean, could they go bigger than ExCeL? I don't know about arena sizes, spaces. Obviously, NAC was massive, where the Yorkshire one recently was. And that has the very national vibes, like more to the layout, because it was in just one hall. But if you could I don't know if it's even possible to take over more of the ExCeL, NEC arena like that. Like, yeah, it was crazy, the size of it. But yeah, the ExCeL is going to be very interesting. Definitely. For that night, it's on April the 17th to the 19th. I think, again, they couldn't see a post last time I checked. They made one recently about what the tickets were like if this sold out or whatnot. I presume a lot of them are going to be sold out weekends, etc. So if you haven't got tickets, head over there as soon as possible. Try and get some tickets sorted out, because before you know it, you'll be out of luck and they would be gone. So get that sorted as soon as you can. I never just thought then. I actually could not recommend anywhere to stay. I always recommend places to stay with Sandown. There's so many good places to stay. And now I'm thinking, where am I even staying for XL? Let me know if you know any good spots to stay for the XL Arena London Car Show in April. Because I mean, I need one. I might need one. Maybe Sports Cars UK can with sofa. I doubt it though. Again, it's lifts way out on it as well. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting show. I'm very looking forward to it. I very feel I think it's gonna be very eye opening for a lot of people. The sheer scope of the hobby, the UK. We shall see. We shall see. Big things coming. I know. I think I touched on this on our last podcast as well. But the Topps Chrome Soccer. Now, putting aside the fact that I feel like it is quite mass produced, quite like not in a derogatory, but sort of junk wax kind of feel to it. You know, like it's just so much of it. Yeah, I've seen people buy cases of blasters and hangers and this, that, the other. This definitely feels like one of them products that sort of won everyone over in the hobby. It's very rare you get a product that people are so like happy with. But it seems to be like a lot of people are happy with the quality, like happy with the pulls, parallels, inserts, etc. And it seems to have done really well. Easy price point for a lot of them. So the tins, the hobby boxes, blasters, hangers, all that sort of nonsense. Very well priced. Everyone seems to be able to get in. They always seem to pull back a little bit of money. You know, like in the past where you buy a hanger, or I think Peterborough Sports Cards did a video as well. You know, all hangers bangers. And it's kind of the case when like a lot of people would say never buy this, buy a hanger, and never buy that, buy a hobby box, and they said, you know, guaranteed no. And now with this latest Topps Chrome Soccer, it seems to be like no matter what you buy, you sort of may not recoup all your money, but you can pull in a few nice inserts, parallels that are holding some decent value. I think at one point, was it the pineapple insert with the pineapple background? It was sort of like weirdly chased. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy. But it's kind of good to have that product at this sort of time. So the way the year started in the UK, just there seems to be a new buzz, a new sort of fresh feeling, a new sort of excitement. You know, very strong with shows, because a lot of these older shows now sort of leveled up again. So it's getting to that grandeur. I don't know what the word I'm looking for there. My vocabulary is slipping away this late hour. But yeah, it seems that with these rising tides, a lot of ships are raising, should we say. But there definitely seems to be a lot more air of optimism, a lot of hope, just a lot more good vibes. I don't know, maybe it's sort of one of the things, whatever you sort of put out, you sort of resonate back in, right? If I'm sort of thinking of it being positive down, that's all I'm seeing. Don't get me wrong, there's negative sides of the hobby at the moment and negative this, that, the other, but it just seems a little, I don't know, a little bit more happier and positive. Maybe it's just like UK side. I mean, obviously we've got the issue of PSA with the prices and turnarounds and the whole licensing issues and this, that, the other. There's always going to be a lot of stuff that you can't control or you don't have much of an input in that's not going to be good. I think that's probably one of the best things about the UK hobby as well. Like when a lot of people don't like a lot of things that goes on at certain shows or events or whatever, it's quickly addressed and changed. Whereas when it's big companies like PSA, we sort of tell them that, hey, we don't like what you've done there. They probably don't care, they don't listen, they just crack on. You know, they just keep churning out what they're doing and keep making a lot of money from us. I'm pretty sure everyone, it's very rarely that you can say that everyone would agree, but I'm pretty sure everyone would agree that if we pay for you to grade our cards, you should not send us an email saying that we owe you money because you now think this card is valued at, you know, X, Y, Z. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Upcharges are ridiculous. I'm going to say it numerous other records. I don't understand it. I just, yeah, it's like paying for a car valet, right? Getting your car cleaned up, and the guy said, "Well, now it's worth a good few grand more, so there's an upcharge on this." Makes no sense. Makes no sense. I mean, I would even at a big stretch, right? And this is a big stretch. I'd let them justify it if they said, grading the card at this, and you're going to sell it for and just so you're not forcing you. So if you then say, "Oh, I'm going to sell it for a PSA Vault," da da da, and they get that amount that they say it's worth, then it's like an upcharge. I wouldn't be happy with it, but I'd be like, "Ah, well, yeah, they've graded it, they've sold it, you've like, it's just the price. So, the price you got to pay, right? You bought this card. Is it just an upcharge? You always knew it was going to be there, not snuck upon you. You just knew that, hey, if we achieve this, because we're PSA, we've got most eyes, on eBay as well, on our channel sort of thing, then it kind of makes a bit more sense. These sort of, like any auction house, right? You're going to lose a bit more. But yeah, just the fact, especially if you're a collector, right? If you're a collector and they say, "Oh, we think your card's worth this much," now it's like, I don't care what you think this card's worth. To me, it's just my Gregos. For me, it doesn't have a price. It's just gonna go on my mantelpiece. It's gonna go wherever it may be. So yeah, I'm hoping that one day that does change. Again, turnaround times, a lot of other stuff. We hope it all changes. We shall see. We shall see. I mean, with the global expansion of everything, whether it be the hobby or whether it be these companies like Fanatics, Tops having shops everywhere. Also, I know PSA are expanding as well, but how there's not other grading sites, to make it easier for Europe to get cars graded by PSA, or easier to get cars graded by PSA. It baffles me still. It baffles me still. It's like the foresight of these people at top wasn't great, basically. But what do I know? Just started tickling the ivory every now and then. Those that obviously listen or watching, point to the piano at the back there of the screen. So you watch on YouTube, you'll see a lavish house that I don't own. I green screened in. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that PSA justified in doing what they're doing, or are you with me on this? Am I right in saying that people just don't understand and don't agree with this? Another rip off, another con. And like I was saying, it's all positive side of these sort of things. These things that are going to affect certain things, but in general, especially the UK slash, I'm going to go out there and say European hobby as well. Just from people I speak to in Europe and mainly Germany, to be fair. But then you see like the shows, whether it be the Sevilla, Lisbon, Barcelona, or the Iberia, I think it is. I'm actually I need to double check that. I really want to go to the Barcelona card show. I need to check the dates again. It'd be a cool weekend over there. But yeah, it just feels like a good time in the hobby. And again, shows living up, shops are popping up. I think the shops are doing well consistently as well, which helps as well because there's just that air and it's just that something in the air. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Now, if Pac Rip singing Phil Collins in the air tonight was on your bingo card, take that off, boys and girls. I don't think it was. But for those who are asking, there's only a few we did. I did enjoy my holiday. I do love Portugal. It's beautiful. I'm back. I'm going away again. When am I going away? We're in February. I'm going away in May. It was going to be April, I think. Well, it's going to be May now. I've not booked it yet. So yeah, May. I'm going to Spain, España, and then I've got a little like trip down to Cornwall in June, and then I'll be away again September, and then November, if all goes well. Hopefully, I'll be at card shows as well during that time. We shall see. We shall see how lucky we all are. But no, appreciate everyone for tuning in as always. Appreciate everyone dropping messages. I've not got around to everything yet with that. I don't even get it. Yeah. I sort of went on, got a bit overwhelmed, and go back out again. There was a few messages, like these notifications galore, and I even got an email on Gmail, an email from Gmail saying, you know, catch up on all this stuff you missed out on Instagram. I was just like, oh god. Oh, so I'll get around to it this week. I will. And the worst, yeah, there wasn't like a great deal of messages. It's like the notifications, and I just think a lot of notifications are nonsense as well. Like, you know, we recommend this. Do you? The amount of them things are getting as well. Are you interested? Tick or X? Jeez. So yeah, hopefully I'll get around to that sort of stuff this week. Hopefully I'll not miss any important messages. Again, I've some people text. I haven't had my personal number text me to say they send me something over. I didn't respond. I was like, oh, I've not been on socials. If you want a number, just text me. It's easier. But yeah, I've tried to stay off, especially because obviously where my head was at. And then I had my granddad's funeral, and then I had shows back to back, and then it was on holiday. I tried to enjoy it. So now it's back. A few months, get back on the grind, get pushing. Hopefully, create some stuff that you guys are interested in. It's the important part. But for now, I bid you a good night and a good day. Hope you're well. See you all soon. Appreciate the support as always. And as always, you guys are the real MVPs. Take care. See you soon.